What's up, guys? Pinoy Handyman here. Today we're going to check this uh, Samsung French door down over here. So this is what it look like. So it's a double door with a door on the bottom also. So that's why they call it a French door. And these are all digital here. See that? So that's good temperature. That is recommended 0 to 37 degrees. So and they have water here, they have ice cube and crushed ice. So yeah, this is a nice refrigerator. So we're going to check this thing out because they have a problem now. I think probably this is already by 5 years old or 7 years old. That's I'm assuming. Okay, so yeah, I'm just gonna check this out and let's see what is the problem. It's cooling, but the problem is I think the blower upstairs, the blower in the food section in the cabinet, the chiller is not working. So it's getting frozen ice and start melting, and then there's a lot of dripping of water. So we need to check that thing out. All right, guys, so as you can see, it's puddling with water here. There's a puddle of water here, and if you look at those on the bottom here, that's all water. So it means you have a problem on the cooling system, because this is the cabinet for all your food. So this is not the freezer. The freezer is on the bottom down over here. So yeah, down over here, that's the freezer. And then you look at that there, it's building ice already. So not supposed to do that. That's supposed to be here, is coming out with air, because there's a cooling system here. There's a fan that's supposed to be blowing that, not to building up ice in there. So right now it's building up with water and everything. You see that there's a lot of condensation, so it's not working fine on this thing. So we need to remove that one by one, remove all the section here. So yeah, one by one we're going to remove that, and then we're going to remove that panel right there. All right, guys, we already removed the panel. As you can see, the blower here, it's built ice, so this is not working. So if you look at over here, it's all ice. So that is not normal for a refrigerator that like that. That shouldn't happen, because if the blower is working, those things that shouldn't happen, because it's blowing that so that it will push air all the way to cold all food inside of this cabinet. So right now all ice right here, so that is a problem. It means your blower here is not working. As you can see down over here, it's all ice. All right, guys, so we're going to remove all the 4 screws here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to test the blower if it's working or not. So we're going to test this thing out, but right now we need to melt this thing out, but we need to remove the panel down over here. All right, guys, so we need to remove that. As you can see here, all ice on the back, and also down over here, it's built all ice. So now we're going to check the blower if it's working. So we need to test this thing out. So we're gonna see some power, if there's any continuity on this thing. All right, guys, we're gonna blower this thing with a hot blower so that we can melt this thing right away. So we need to check this thing out. So the only thing you can melt this thing is to use a blower, a hair dryer. Alright, guys, so we already removed all the ice. So right now we're just gonna dry them up, and then we're going to test this thing. Alright, guys, so the moment of truth, we're going to test this thing out. The good thing is this thing is not seized, so it's not stuck. So it's working fine like that. But the only thing is we need to find out if it's going to run. We can test this thing out with 12 volts charger, or any form of 12 volts battery, or you can even use the 9 volts, because we just only want to try to this thing, it will it will run or not. Okay, so if we put the 9 volts, if you don't have 12 volts charger or anything like that, or any kind of form of to run this thing, to test this thing, you can use tester also. But for me, I like it my to test this thing out with 9 volts battery or a 12 volts charger. Alright guys, the good thing is I found some AC adapter down over here. It's a power supply, so this is good because it's rated for 12 volts down over here. If you see that there, I don't know if you can see that. We get closer. 12 volt DC. It's 5 milliamp, so 500 milliamp, so that is fine. The only thing we need to know is if this thing is gonna work. So we're just gonna put that thing in, and here your negative here is your black. So in wire like this here, they always have polarity. This thing, they have like a stripe white, so that's your negative, and then the solid black here, you always have your positive. So we're going to check this thing out and put it in, and let's try this thing out. Okay, so yeah, let me put the thing in. We put this thing, plug it in, and then we can see if it's going to work. Alright guys, that's a good thing. So the fan is working fine. It's working perfect. It's so quiet. So we put it in here. So we tested the thing out. So everything is working. So now we're gonna put this thing back. Let it melt all those ice in there. Or I'm just gonna blower it with a hair dryer so that we can melt and put it back everything, because we don't want our food to be in outside, because we don't want those to get bad. So right now we need to put it back as soon as possible. Alright guys, we're just gonna blower this thing so that we can make it faster to melt the ice. Alright guys, everything is melt right there. So it's ready to put it back, everything, clean up. See there, that's supposed to be. And be careful when you're holding this thing. They are very sharp. So don't think about to, put your finger in there, or else you're gonna cut yourself, that thing. Alright guys, so when you put this thing back, you only have 2 tabs to put it in. That blue one and the white with red color right there. So that's the only thing you need to put it back, and to remove it when you want to service the blower fan. Alright guys, so we already put it back. So you have only 1, 2, 3, 4 screw on this type of refrigerator. So, and also on this one here, there's one over on the bottom there and one over so here on the other side. So we're gonna put this thing back, push that back there, and then we're all set, and then we can run this thing. And to mention, there's a tab on this thing here to close that cover there, to cover that inside. Okay, all right, let's plug it in and try this thing. Should be lights up there. There you go. So it's lights up. So it takes time to kick that motor in. So we're just gonna clean up this thing, and then we will see it later. All those ice right there. So just clean this thing up, and then later on, because the temperature below down 68 right here, 14 degrees, 68 Fahrenheit. So, and the fridge is 68 right now, and you have 14 over here, and the freezer. So yeah, so it's gonna wait until 0 to 37 degrees. Alright guys, everything is done. Perfect. That's good. Yep, everything is cool. So that's how you fix a refrigerator if your twin cooling fan is not working inside here. So right now it's blowing air here on this side, including here. Yeah, so now no more frozen coil. Alright guys, so we're already done on that Samsung French door refrigerator. We already fixed the fan, the blower fan on that evaporator. So when you see that there's a lot of waters coming out through everywhere in your refrigerator, in the food cabinet, so you always need to check, maybe the blower fan is not working on the evaporator coil, or you have frozen also on that evaporator coil. So it means your blower fan is not working. This the same thing working on, the air conditioning in your home, in your house. If you have ice like that, so it means maybe you have a dirty coil, or maybe you have a dirty filter, or maybe you have a low on freon on the air conditioning in your home. So those are almost the same as your refrigerator. So the evaporator coil on the refrigerator, there's always a blower fan down there, so that it will push the air on the coil, so that it will melt those ice, so that it will not get frozen. All right, so every time you have a problem like that, you always need to test the blower fan first before you're going to replace the whole fan, or the whole panel board of that refrigerator. You always need to have, at least if you see that in the fan it says 12 volts, you always need to get maybe 9 volts battery, or maybe you can get a power supply like this, and then you just plug it in and test it out if it's gonna work. In 9 volt, the same thing. As long as it's gonna turn the fan, if you see that it's gonna turn, that should be okay. So yeah, so that's how you tested the blower fan for your refrigerator. All right, guys. So this is Pinoy Handyman. Thank you again for watching. All right, guys. God bless. Thank you for watching on my video, and please don't forget to subscribe and give a thumbs up if you like the video. All right. Thank you. God bless. Take care. Bye.